news headlines, Governor Udom Emmanuel speaks on the need for Akwa Ibom people to embrace the ideals of Ibibio Union. Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare canvasses support for Udom Emmanuel's administration. And Forum of former chairmen in Oron Nation express satisfaction with the state government. Top of the morning, and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Samuel Udofia. Governor Udom Emmanuel has called on Akwa Ibom people to imbibe the age-long brotherly love of the founding fathers of the Ibibio Union to promote unity and cohesion in the state. Mr. Udom Emmanuel made the call at the 19th Obong Samson Udoituk Memorial Lecture and Awards held at the Udodoma Hall of the Mbong Barawa Ibibio International Headquarters in Uyo. Colonel Edem Efrati reports.
Governor Udom Emmanuel said the Ibibio Union was able to achieve much for the people because it was devoid of ethnic parochialism, adding that indigenes of the state needed to return to that model of life for the advancement of the state and its people. Mr. Udom Emmanuel, who commended the Mbong Barawa Ibibio for undertaking the promotion of the Ibibio Union's founding fathers' ideals, described the group as a galvanizing instrument and a ray of hope for the growth of the people. He appeals to all sociocultural groups in the state to fight against ethnicity and divisionism, stressing that the state is one big family and should in the spirit of Takada rise to greatness with the exhibited quality of love and togetherness.
So actually, culturally well like this is not to find that level of this unity, but rather to actually see ourselves as the galvanizing instrument for the liberation of our people. And it didn't matter if you were an individual person, a man, or another nation man. Their eyes were set on the hill of hope, of which our state today represents.
The international president of Mbogo, Akparawa Monle Utugopan, had earlier informed the guests that the event was in honor of Obong Samson Udoituk, the founding president of the Ibibio Union, who in his selfless service to the people denied himself the scholarship just to ensure that other Ibibio sons were educated. Akparawa Utugopan, who commended Governor Udom Emmanuel on his effort to change the fortune of the state, said, building on the foundation of the Ibibio Union, Mbogo has grown into more than 20,000 members with 55 branches within and outside the country.
It is our collective responsibility to build a strong and direct organization upon the foundation already laid, so that the labors of our founding fathers and previous acts shall not be in vain.
The chairman, Gas Committee of the Senate, Senator Basi Albert Akpan, who was the chairman at the event, said Mbogo's focus was in line with Governor Udom Emmanuel's agenda to develop the state and its people. Senator Albert Akpan called for unity among the Ibibios to strengthen the Ibibio Union-led foundation, saying a crack in the walls of the Ibibios would affect the state negatively. He commended the leadership of Mbogo for recognizing and honoring him as part of the 19th lectures.
My prayer and my hope is that the God we worship will give us more of Obong Samson in Akwa Ibom, where we must begin to look beyond ethnic, tribal, or any other sentiments, but pursue the cause we believe and we are sure and we are convinced to lead to the collective emancipation of our people.
Among those honored was the immediate past governor and minority leader of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who thanked Mbogo for honoring him rather than join a section of the state to fight him despite his selfless service to the state.
Through this organization, we are doing massive integration, first of the people of Akwa Ibom State without discrimination. There is no greater thing that God gave to us than love.
Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
youth unemployment and dependence would soon be a thing of the past. This is because Governor Dom Emmanuel has promised that his administration was ready and committed to strengthen institutions that will encourage wealth creation. The governor was addressing media, executive and professionals in the state. The story is presented in our studios.
Describing government's interest to establish a coconut factory in the state, Governor Dom Emmanuel said that the factory, when established, will provide about 500,000 direct and indirect jobs. The governor hinted that about 35,000 hectares of land was targeted for cultivation of coconut, with hope that the improved seedlings will produce yield within 3 years. He noted that coconut was highly productive and will boost the state's foreign direct investment.
By simple calculation, direct and indirect employment of coconut of minimum of 30 to 35,000 hectares will give you minimum of 500,000 jobs. If we do that with a well-paid something, that's why I started my introduction by saying we will take our youth to where they earn a living rather than beg for a living.
Answering questions from journalists on the progress with the Peacock Paints Limited, the governor informed the media executive that the company had resumed emulsion paint production, while the oil and marine paints brand are soon to commence. He expressed the hope that the marine paint will service the Ibaka deep sea port, which is soon to commence operations, as the state cannot afford to source for marine-based paints from outside. Governor Emmanuel announced that all financial commitments between Peacock Paints and First Bank, which plunged the company into receivership, has been settled.
Our focus is everything we want to do in the deep sea port. Let us not import 1 gallon of paint. Our paint industry should be able to produce marine paint that should be able to fit actually that area.
Governor Dom Emmanuel also spoke on the decision to support the Akwa Ibom State University, but called on the management of the institution to step up their marketing strategies to attract some private and corporate interest and patronage to the institution.
Party elders in a local government area have been asked to remain faithful and dedicated to the tenets of the party and avoid distractions. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Glory Emmanuel Adet, made the call at Odorikpe headquarters of Ini local government area while meeting with PDP elders from the 10 wards in the area. The story is once again presented in our studios.
Dr. Adet said that Governor Dom Emmanuel has been chosen by God to transform the lives of Akwa Ibom people and advised party elders to be focused, peaceful and responsible while keeping the tenets of PDP in a local government area. She thanked the elders for the support, goodwill and loyalty to the governor during the last election. Dr. Adet told the elders that the administration of Governor Dom Emmanuel was all-inclusive, adding that it was determined to uplift the fortunes of the people. She urged the people not to go astray, but to do what is right, fair, and just by remaining faithful and committed to the PDP.
It is necessary.
The chairman of PDP in Ini, Mr. Idiasen, said PDP has laid a formidable foundation in the area and advised the party elders not to allow sentiment and greed to becloud their sense of judgment. The chief whip of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Ekpenyong, expressed gratitude to the governor for carrying the people of Ini local government area along in governance. A former legislator in the state, Chief Okata Samakwan, who spoke at the occasion, commended Dr. Glory Emmanuel Adet for making Ini people proud through her excellent performance in the state cabinet. He called on the elders, youth and indigents of Ini local government area to stand firm with the PDP and described the governor as a man of goodwill, courage and passion to serve the people.
Let's concentrate our energy to see how to bring good things regional government. I want to give you one I go to you, say down.
Well, that's how I always know me. I say, yeah, well, no. And I don't know what I'm
Also, Mr. Udodo thanked the Commissioner for leading by example and appreciated the Governor for his works. The meeting ended with a vote of confidence passed on Governor Gabriel Emmanuel, the Senate Minority Leader, Chief Godswill Akpabio, for their good performances so far.
In the spirit of the new transformational philosophy, Akwa Ibom youths have been challenged to rise above those vices that are capable of jeopardizing their future. The state governor gave the advice while flagging off an inter-campus Dakada campaign in Uyo. Governor Domi Manuel was represented at the occasion by the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Obot. In attendance also were the member representing Uran State constituency in the State House of Assembly, the senior pastor of Prevailing Destiny Church, Mfon Ambrose, as well as members of the Association of Beauty Queens from Cross River State. The story is presented.
The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Obot, lauded the Beauty Kings and Queens for organizing the event and for taking a step of faith. Beauty, the governor noted, can only be complete when what one has inside is positive and capable of impacting society. He called on youths and the entire citizens of the state at home and in diaspora to give the government the necessary support to develop the state and advised the association to take the Dakada message to all campuses in the state.
In the Ministry of Science and Tech, we are deep behind the wheel. We are also adding value to this administration. I want to believe that some of you were involved in the Oracle training that we offer to the youth. We've done the first batch, we're about doing the second batch, and then His Excellency promised that he was going to train 1,000 youth. And that is to show you that His Excellency is ICT compliant. And you really want to saturate this with ICT skill level.
The chairman on the occasion and member representing Uran in the State House of Assembly, who was represented by Mr. Vincent Alu, said he was proud to be associated with young men and women who are focused and determined to impact society positively. He said the decision of the Beauty Queens and Kings to identify with the Dakada initiative was commendable, disclosing that he is considering sponsoring a bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom Entrepreneurship Agency, where youths can be trained to become self-reliant.
It may interest you to know that in just about less than 6 months in office as a House member, certain things he has put in place is actually geared towards youth empowerment. And I'm sure what you are doing here today is part of youth empowerment.
In his exhortation, the senior pastor of Prevailing Destiny Church, Pastor Mfon Ambrose, said the initiative of the Beauty Queens and Kings has gone a long way to correcting the misconception people have about beauty pageants. He charged them to use the Dakada campaign to improve society.
But in the Bible, there is one woman that never contested. She was never a beauty pageant, but she did something that her name stood out and still stands out till today. Her name was Tabitha, and she was nicknamed Dorcas. She used her position as a very beautiful woman to affect our generation.
After the break, Forum of former council chairmen in Oro Nation assured of readiness of Governor Domi Manuel to transform the fortunes of Oro Nation in a moment. You're still watching AM News, and I'm Samuel Odofia. The Forum of former council chairmen in Oro Nation has been assured of the readiness of Governor Udomi Emmanuel to transform the fortunes of Oro Nation. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Dr. Emmanuel Owoduke, gave the assurance when members of the forum, led by the chairman, Chief Bassiet Medet, paid him a courtesy visit. Dr. Owoduke said, in the economic development agenda of the present administration, no section of the state is left out, given the fact that the governor has made Akwa Ibom State his constituency. Details of the story is here presented.
He said that Governor Udomi Emmanuel was ready to build an enduring structure that would benefit the present and future generations, and called on the group to promote the lofty plans of government. The Commissioner commended the group for supporting the PDP and the governor, stating that with the caliber of persons in the state cabinet, the administration will leave a pleasant mark on the sands of time.
So one of the things I want to make the government not to derail is when there are critics, constructive criticism that have alternative. Not to say anything you are doing is wrong. You should say, this what you are doing, if you have done it this way, you would have obtained a better result. That is how civilized people criticize to take people forward.
The forum said that Oro Nation was glad with the ongoing construction of Awanison, mainland and other roads in Oron, and appealed to the governor to consider other roads in the local government area that make up the Oro Nation. The group assured Governor Udomi Emmanuel that Oro Nation, as a PDP area, was ready to support the administration and the PDP, and urged the governor to take the entire state as his constituency. The forum commended the Dakada initiative of the administration, which, according to him, would help to inspire the citizenry and pledge its solidarity and support for the program.
The idea, therefore, is that the government of Akwa Ibom State should develop as if Akwa Ibom is a country, until it is possible to practice true fiscal federalism in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom can compete with itself, compete with other countries in terms of development.
As the new construction season is set to begin, the residents of Mbiabong Anyanya, Etoi in Uyo local government area have appealed to the state government to come to their assistance by including some important roads on the list of roads to be attended to. Of particular concern is the road leading to one of the government agencies located in the area, the Akwa Ibom Agricultural Development Program, ACADEP. Elijah Edets reports.
According to residents of the area, the deplorable state of the road has caused untold hardship on them, as their economic, social, and religious lives have been completely jeopardized. They narrated their ordeal whenever there is heavy rain, saying that the whole area is always flooded with large pool of stagnant water. This, they said, impedes movement to and from their houses and business places, which invariably affects their economy.
That we have this beautiful edifice, corporate headquarters of Akwa Ibom State Agricultural Development Program, ACADEP, but there is no access road to it, and it has become a source of embarrassment not only to the staff but also to the visitors.
My vehicle right now is on the main road. I cannot drive in as a director. I keep my vehicle there, then remove my shoe, put on raincoat so that I can move on that swampy road. So the road is so deplorable, the road is so bad.
The condition of the road does not allow us to come to work as we are supposed to be punctual to work. Because when it rains heavily, we have to wait for the rain to subside, because no bike will carry you inside. And when you come down, you have to stop and start trekking, walking down to the office.
You see, we have to park our vehicles over there, then walk in here. But 2 or 3 times, local boys have just come in and break into people's vehicle and get away property.
Also affected by the poor condition of the road is ACADEP, which the program manager, Elder Iben Idong, said has exposed staff and visitors to various degrees of danger. According to him, the agency, which duties include advocacy on agricultural development, is worst affected by the poor road condition. He joined in the call by the community that government should consider the construction of the road by giving the people a sense of belonging.
It's very dangerous. It's posing a security threat to this place. I wish government will come so that they will believe me, because I have given them the assurance that government will do something about it.
When Christians were rejoicing and celebrating in their different denominations Sunday, disaster struck in the residence of one of such worshippers. The unlucky ones, Mr. and Mrs. Idong Serudongo, were in their church, the Salvation Army, Udotumumbo Street, when the unfortunate incident happened. On return from service to their number 56 Ukanafort Street, Uyo residence, the couple discovered that their home had been razed. To their surprise, they realized they were left with only the clothes they wore to church, as all of their property, including clothes, were consumed by the inferno. Also consumed by the fire were customer clothes and the sewing machines with which Mrs. Udongo sews them. The fire, according to them, affected only their ground floor residence of the one-story tenement building. Some neighbors who witnessed the fire spoke to our correspondent on the disaster.
Unfortunate. I was in my house when I saw the lights in the initial stage. So when it come up, we just cried. Smoke was everywhere. We tried to do our best, quenching of the light.
Any can make good. So we are good to what since she's my friend. So we are going. He can't go for me. So I thought it was something not as serious as what I'm saying here. This is what I've come to see. Now they are passing from the scratch. No, because there's nothing left for them. Everything is gone.
On their part, the victims, Mr. and Mrs. Idong Serudongo, appealed to the conscience of individuals and groups on the disaster that has befallen their family.
All I have labored for in my entire life has been now consumed by fire. So I don't know what to say. This is my wife. But I pray God that God will touch the heart of good people of everywhere to know what to. I don't even know what to come to our head. Even though there are government agency, government parastatal, individual, politicians, government officials, known and unknown people, please sympathize us. We are appealing to you, please. If you can come to our aid, God will also come to you whenever you have a need.
The corps officer in charge of the Salvation Army, Udotumumbo Street, Major Abasido Udongo, also appealed to public-spirited individuals and governments to assist the unfortunate victims.
I want to say to God, thank you, because no life is lost. But I'm believing God that God knows everything, and He is going to touch people's heart to support this family, to keep them going.
The bond of unity between Akwa Ibom and Abia State was strengthened weekend when some indigents of the two states joined friends, associates and family members to bid farewell to a renowned scholar, Professor Luke Uche, who died at the age of 68. Patience John reports that the Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, attended the funeral, which was held in Abia State.
Accompanying the Deputy Governor were some members of the State Executive Council, the member representing Abak State constituency, other government functionaries, and the people of Abak. The Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, said that he was in Abayi, Isalangwa North Legal Government area of Abia State, to pay respect to his father-in-law in Koli. He described the late Professor Luke Uche as an elder scholar, and Koli, who later became his father-in-law.
I want to ask that God should continue to bless you and not
nurture you, and be near to comfort you and commiserate with you whenever you are in need of the support and assistance.
The Deputy Governor of Abia State, Sir Ude Okochukwu, accompanied by the Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly, Martins Azubike, said that the disease has touched many lives and contributed to the growth of the state and country while alive.
Whatever man does not have control over, man is purely helpless in that situation. All that we need to do is take it the way we see it. So we implore you, please work hard and extend send.
The funeral conducted by the State African Church Mission Incorporated took place at the Bokasanya Uche compound, was officiated by the Reverend E.C. Onwaso. In the sermon, the Reverend Onwaso reminded Christians of the need to live righteously so as to make heaven when they die. A biography of the deceased, read by the elder son, Ugochukwu Uche, revealed that the late Luke Uche had served as editor-in-chief, Ghana African News Agency, Radio Nigeria, Kaduna, as well as examiner to many universities, including Leicester University, United Kingdom. The former head of Department of Mass Communication, University of Lagos, Fulbright Fellow, and a former coordinator, National Institute of Public Information, Kaduna.
Professor Uche was an erudite and grounded scholar who did not believe that his sole job was simply to teach journalism and mass communication. He believed that his job was to empower his students to think critically about how communication should be a tool to propel development.
Other members of the family, including his only daughter, who is also the daughter-in-law to the State Deputy Governor, Mrs. Adaku Uche Ebu, eulogized the late father.
My father did more than his duty. He invested in everybody around him. He was always looking back to pull people up. He was always seeking to encourage us, taught us to think critically about everything.
The remains of the late Professor Bokasanya Uche were later interred to rest. Patience John reporting.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45Uyo or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now to end the news, the recap. Governor Udomimano has called on the Akwa Ibom people to imbibe the age-long brotherly love of the founding fathers of the Ibibio Union to promote unity and cohesion in the state. Mr. Udomimano made the call at the 19th Obong Samson Odoitok Memorial Lecture and Awards held at the Udodoma Hall of the Mbo Mparawa Ibibio International Headquarters in Uyo. Also, youth unemployment and dependence would soon be a thing of the past. This is because Governor Udomimano has promised that his administration was ready and committed to strengthening institutions that will encourage wealth creation. That's our package. Thanks for watching and have a great Wednesday. Good morning.